presidential race is the big draw. Voters in southern New England will also be deciding on a number of local races and ballot questions. And for Rhode Island voters, some things at the polling places tomorrow may be different than what you're used to. Eyewitness News reporter Steph Machado continues our Campaign 2016 team coverage now, live from the Providence Mobile Newsroom.
Thousands of Rhode Islanders have already cast their votes through mail ballots or emergency ballots, but the vast majority are heading to the polls tomorrow, and you may see some new things when you go to vote. Rhode Island's new voting machines will get their first general election test this year. The machines send results wirelessly to the Board of Elections, and Secretary of State Nellie Gorbea says there are multiple backups.
We still have a data stick that's double encrypted on the machine. We have a paper receipt that gets printed out at the end of the evening with the tallies, and we have the paper ballot. Very secure, wonderful system.
We've got a whole bunch of workstations where people are receiving information.
Board of Elections member Steve Erickson gave me a tour of the BOE where the new machines will send the wireless election results. He says if all goes well with the new machines,
we will have many of the results very quickly after the polls close at 8 o'clock.
Also new this year, tablets called e-poll books at 57 polling places. You just scan your ID to check in and get your ballot. On that ballot, you'll notice there's no straight party voting or master lever for the first time.
You have to vote for each race individually, from federal all the way to local.
In Massachusetts, there was early voting for the first time this year. The Secretary of State there says 1 million voters took advantage. And those tablets are expected to replace paper voter checklists in Rhode Island by 2018. Now, coming up new at 6, from long lines to voter ID, we'll tell you how to avoid any problems at the polls tomorrow and how the state avoids problems like fraud. Reporting live from the Providence Mobile Newsroom, I'm Steph Machado, Eyewitness News.
Today, we learned the federal government is monitoring polls around the country, including in Massachusetts and Rhode Island. And new at 6, we're looking at what the state is doing to protect your voting rights and what you need to know before voting tomorrow. Eyewitness News reporter Steph Machado is live in Providence with more Campaign 2016 coverage. Steph.
The U.S. Department of Justice is going to be monitoring polls in Providence and Pawtucket, among other dozens of other locations across the country, to make sure voters' rights are upheld. Today, we talked to Rhode Island officials about doing just that.
And the electronic tab.
Secretary of State Nellie Gorbea's message for eligible Rhode Island voters is this.
There's no reason for somebody to walk away from the polls not having voted.
You are required to show a photo ID at the polls, but if you don't have one or you forget it, you can still fill out what's called a provisional ballot that will be certified later. New wireless voting machines will be transmitting results to the Board of Elections.
Over here,
we took a tour while they were certifying mail ballots. The state is also minimizing voter fraud by having 3 different backups of the election results.
so you've got 3 sets of data to compare to make sure that there hasn't been anything untoward happening to any of the results.
Gorbea predicts long lines in the early morning and the evening, so give yourself extra time. But as long as you're in line at 8 when the polls close, you will be able to vote. Gorbea knows from experience.
I showed up at 7:59. They were about to close, and I showed up, and the poll worker said, "Come on in."
Okay.
And I was the last person to vote that night.
And Secretary Gorbea added that she doesn't recommend showing up at the last minute. Now, this is really important. If you didn't register to vote in time by the deadline last month, you can still vote tomorrow in Rhode Island. You have to go to your town or city hall, or if you live in Providence, to the Dunkin' Donuts Center. You can register day of and vote only for president and vice president. Reporting live from the Providence Mobile Newsroom, I'm Steph Machado, Eyewitness News.